Hey guys, it's Adam from Tested, and I am in an amazing place. I'm at Aardman Animation in Bristol, England, where they are working on Early Man right now. And it's a stop-motion animated film which comprises over 1,400 shots, and all of them are being planned on these incredible boards. And the drill sergeant, the oil in this engine, is First Assistant Director Ben Barrowman. Ben, can you tell me how this all incredible layout works, because it's a mystifying ordeal to me.
Yeah, I can certainly try. So these are the big boards, or the schedule boards.
All right.
So each board represents 2 weeks of our shoot schedule. We have our units down the side. So across our 4 studios, we have 37 shooting units.
37?
37, yeah. Each one of those has a set in it. Not everyone will have an animator in. We've got 29 animators on our shoot at the moment.
Wow, so every single one of these is a separate set that's lit with different characters acting out a different scene in the film.
Yeah, exactly. So everyone has an animator attached, everyone has lighting attached, dressers attached, riggers attached, crew, and it's my job to schedule all of those and make sure the shoot runs to that schedule, I guess.
Okay, so some of this is fairly straightforward. I see little bits of storyboard and stuff. What do the rubber bands signify?
So the rubber bands, where we have an animator, so like here in Unit 10, we have Emmanuel. So he's just completed a shot yesterday. Mm-hmm. The black line means that shot's been approved. Okay. And that just shows that today we're going to be dressing and lighting on that unit and setting up his next shot. So while they're going to be busy doing that, I'm going to bounce Emmanuel down to Unit 24. He's going to pick up a tree plate, so a plate of a falling tree on green screen. That'll keep him busy while we do this, and then hopefully tomorrow he comes back and that's ready to block.
The idea is to be able to maximally utilize all of your resources.
Yeah, exactly. Keep everyone shooting, because obviously we're up against it, and if animators are sitting around, then they're not shooting seconds and frames, so we're not doing our job, basically.
So every single one of these boards is about a month of shooting, comprising both sides?
Yeah, so there's 2 weeks on either side, so there's 4 weeks. So we're at week 60, and we've got 18 weeks to go before our wrap date.
Kind of in the home stretch.
I wouldn't say that necessarily. Time-wise, we're about 2/3 of the way through, but because of the way we ramp up the shoot, we're going to go up to 32 animators in a few weeks, and then it's kind of like go for the last 18 weeks. So that's be our most intense, sort of busiest period. And
what is the black tape?
I'm not sure if that's a previous production manager who's punched through the boards, but that's merely that's just to fix the boards. They've been used. I think these boards have been used since Were Rabbit, so they've had a lot of pins going in them over the years. So they're a little bashed up, I guess.
So this is sort of the tried and true Aardman method for plotting out all of your different sets and scenes.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a really good focal point for the crew. So I do a morning meeting at 9 o'clock, and we talk through what we need to do for the day to achieve the schedule. There can only be one version of it, and you can't have different versions knocking around. It can never break. So it's just a really good way for everyone to see what is required of the
Is there a rule about who's allowed to touch this?
Me, and that's about it generally. Obviously, people do flick through them, and they kind of leave them sort of messy like that, which is sort of a pet hate of production people. So we, one of the guys, Albert, he goes through and kind of tidies them up sporadically just to make sure they're nice and neat. But I'm the only person that gets to move them around unless I say otherwise.
How far so this is this week, but how far in advance are things carefully plotted out? Do they get looser as it goes into the future?
So I'd say probably the next month is fairly tightly plotted, and then just as we approach it, because things, despite our best efforts, obviously things don't always go to plan, so it does move around. So we try and keep the sort of next month sort of tightly plotted, and then after that it gets a bit looser. But we have to keep an eye on the sort of back end of the schedule, obviously, to see what's going over and what units we need to prioritise. And
do you have little gold stars when things finish on time or ahead of schedule?
Unfortunately not. Maybe that's a good idea for a motivation. Though we just have a boring black line at the moment. So
What is the end? So if this is what mid-production looks like, what is the end of production?
Yeah, so we can go down and have a look into the future. So our final wrap date to get everything delivered for all the post and sound mix is Friday the 27th of October. So that's our last week. These are currently, because we're working on Act 3, they're sort of placeholder Act 3 boards at the moment. These shots here are obviously shots that don't fit in the schedule.
Wow.
Because we're expecting Act 3 to come down in length, this is just kind of a first pass of Act 3. As that gets cut down, that's going to go the other side of the red line, and we'll get everything done.
Oh,
in
so
time.
even as you're mid-production, there are different choices being made in editing and in the layout of the scenes.
Yeah, totally. Typically, Act 3 is sort of rarely locked down until later on in the shoot. It would be great if we started and the entire film was locked down and signed off, but that's kind of part of the challenge that very rarely happens.
It's amazing how you guys have really physicalized the whole production. I mean, you kind of got this whole thing as a sort of gesture in your head, it seems like.
Yeah, it's great. It's just an easy way for everyone to see it and see the sort of deadlines for delivery and the schedule, really. So, yeah.
Do you come to this board in like the early morning and late at night to just kind of take in what's going on?
I do come in early morning before the day starts just to kind of see what's up for approval and basically work out in my head sort of plan Bs, what's going to happen if a shot gets, if we need to go again on a shot or we need to cut back, because obviously all the units are interlinked, so I do need to kind of have an idea in my head for every sort of eventuality so that when it happens, I'm not kind of on the back foot, I know what we're going to do.
Right. It's a beautiful, for me personally, with the slight amount of OCD that I have, it is a very satisfying construction that you've got here. Thank you for walking me through it, Ben.
No worries.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.